Pizza was supposed to be recession-proof. For decades, the logic was simple. When the economy gets hard, people trade down to cheaper food, and nothing is cheaper, more filling, or more universally acceptable than a pizza. Feed a family of 4 for under $30. Kids love it. Nobody complains. It was supposed to be safe no matter what. In 2026, that assumption is dead. In 2024, 61% of pizza chains saw declining sales. Consumers who were supposed to be trading down to pizza are trading down past pizza entirely to frozen pizza to eating at home. And the chains that built their entire business model on the assumption that pizza demand was indestructible are now closing hundreds of locations, filing for bankruptcy, and in some cases disappearing entirely. These are the 9 pizza chains falling apart in 2026. Number 9, Gina Maria's Pizza. 50 years. 50 years of serving pizza in Minnesota. Gina Maria's was a regional institution, the kind of chain that generations of families associated with Friday nights and youth sports banquets, and the pizza you ordered because it was the pizza your parents ordered. In early 2026, it filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, not Chapter 11, Chapter 7 liquidation. The company had assets between $0 and $100,000. It had liabilities between $1 and $10 million, and it had nothing left to restructure. The restaurants closed, the website went offline. 50 years of a regional pizza institution gone. What happened to Gina Maria's is the story of a regional chain that survived every previous challenge and then ran out of runway when the combination of rising costs, declining consumer spending, and the structural collapse of the sit-down pizza category all arrived at the same time. Number 8. Peology. Peology opened in 2011 as a fast casual answer to the pizza category. The Chipotle model applied to pizza: walk in, build your own pie, pay a flat price, get out in minutes. At its peak, Peology operated 135 locations. It attracted investors, it attracted franchisees. It looked like the future of fast casual pizza. In December 2025, Peology filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. By the time of the filing, the chain had shrunk from 135 locations to approximately 40, most of them in California. It had been in managed retreat for years, closing underperformers, reducing overhead, trying to stabilize a business that kept losing ground to the frozen pizza aisle and the delivery app. The Chipotle model works for burritos. It has proven considerably harder to sustain for pizza, where the margins are tighter, the competition is more established, and the consumer has 100 other options at every price point. Whether Peology can find 40 locations worth saving is a question the bankruptcy process is now deciding. Number 7. Bertucci's. Bertucci's is a cautionary tale about what happens when a restaurant brand cycles through bankruptcy so many times that the word restructuring starts to lose all meaning. The chain, an East Coast institution known for its brick oven Italian pizza and pasta, filed for Chapter 11 for the first time in April 2018. It filed again in December 2022, down to 31 restaurants. It filed a third time in April 2025, down to 15 restaurants in 6 states. The company said consumer demand had shifted away from legacy casual dining brands. 3 bankruptcies in 7 years, 15 restaurants. The definition of sustainable future is doing a lot of work in that sentence. What Bertucci's represents is the slow-motion collapse of the brick oven casual pizza experience, the sit-down pizza dinner that was a middle-class American institution for 2 decades. It is being priced out of existence from below by delivery chains and from above by better restaurants. Bertucci's has been caught in that squeeze for 7 years and counting. Number 6. Modi Pizza. Modi Pizza was a pioneer. When it opened in Seattle in 2008, it brought the build-your-own fast casual concept to pizza before most of its competitors. By 2024, Modi Pizza had approximately 500 locations. It raised hundreds of millions in venture capital. It was one of the defining fast casual success stories of the 2000s. Then it ran out of runway. The combination of high-interest debt, unfavorable leases from rapid expansion, and declining same-store sales created a cash problem the company could not resolve. MOD closed 27 locations and sold its assets to Elite Restaurant Group in a transaction designed to keep the brand alive under new ownership. But the new ownership has not stopped the contraction. By early 2026, MOD Pizza was down to 448 locations and still declining. The chain that was supposed to define the future of fast casual pizza is instead becoming an example of how fast the category can turn when the underlying economics stop working. Number 5. The franchisee crisis at Domino's and Little Caesars. Domino's and Little Caesars are not failing. Domino's is one of the few genuine winners in the current pizza landscape. Its technology investments and delivery focus have given it a real competitive advantage. But here is what is happening underneath the success of the national brands. The independent franchisees who actually own and operate individual locations are going bankrupt at an alarming rate. Domino's franchisee People First Pizza Inc. filed for Chapter 11 in March 2025. North County Pizza Inc., a California-based Domino's franchisee, filed for Chapter 11 in March 2026. Little Caesars franchisee Red Door Pizza LLC filed for Chapter 11 in July 2025. The franchise model is under stress in a way that national brand numbers do not reveal. When you see Domino's reporting system sales growth, you are not seeing the individual operator in Oceanside, California who cannot make rent and has $1 million in liabilities. The franchisee is the first to feel the margin squeeze, and the franchisee bankruptcies in 2025 and 2026 are an early warning signal for what happens when the economics of running a single pizza location stop working, even for the industry's strongest brands. Before we get to the top 3, here is why this is happening. Pizza delivery was declining before the economy got difficult. Delivery as a percentage of pizza orders fell from 61% in 2022 to 55% in 2025, 6 percentage points in 3 years. And the frozen pizza shift is the most telling. 25% of American consumers said they are eating more frozen pizza specifically because of restaurant price increases. The chain spent years raising prices to cover their own rising costs. The customer's response was not to absorb the price increase. The customer's response was to go to the grocery store. That is the structural trap that every pizza chain on this list is caught in. And the top 3 are the biggest names in American pizza, and they are all right now in genuine trouble. Number 4. Papa John's. Papa John's has been in turnaround mode for years. A new CEO, a new positioning, a push into digital, and then, just as the turnaround was supposed to be taking hold, the numbers went the wrong direction. North America comparable sales fell 2% in full year 2025. In the first quarter of 2026, they fell 6.4%. The company responded by announcing the closure of 300 underperforming restaurants, 200 of them by the end of 2026. It also cut 7% of its corporate workforce. The stock fell more than 8% on the day the closure announcement was made, and then the buyout talks started. Papa John's largest U.S. franchisee, Nadeem Bajwa, who operates approximately 300 Papa John's locations, and investment firm Earth Capital are reportedly in negotiations to take the company private. The fact that these discussions are happening tells you something about where Papa John's is. A company that was once a household name for delivery pizza is now the subject of private equity negotiations about whether it can be better managed outside of public market scrutiny. Number 3. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's slogan is, "No one out, pizza's the Hut." In 2026, the data suggests that quite a lot of people are, in fact, out-pizzaing the Hut. Yum Brands announced in February 2026 that it would close 250 underperforming Pizza Hut locations in the first half of the year as part of a plan called Hut Forward. United States same-store sales fell 3% in the fourth quarter of 2025 and 5% for the full year. Meanwhile, Taco Bell, Yum's other major brand, posted 7% same-store sales growth for the same quarter. That contrast tells you something important. Taco Bell figured out value, Pizza Hut has not. But the closure announcement was only the beginning. Yum! Brands also disclosed that it had launched a strategic review of the Pizza Hut business, including the possibility of selling the chain entirely. Pizza Hut, one of the most recognizable restaurant brands in American history, a chain that has been operating since 1958. Its parent company is conducting a strategic review that includes selling it. By mid-2026, reports emerged that Yum! Brands was in exclusive discussions with private equity firm Long Range Capital about a potential sale. If that transaction completes, Pizza Hut would leave the Yum! Brands portfolio, and the question of what happens to the 6,000 remaining American locations would be answered by new owners with a very different set of incentives. Number 2, the American pizza consumer, not a chain, a behavior change. 25% of American consumers said in 2025 that they are eating more frozen pizza because restaurant prices have gotten too high. That is 1 in 4 pizza consumers actively choosing the grocery store over the pizza chain. Delivery declined from 61% to 55% of pizza orders in just 3 years. The chains responded to rising labor, food, and lease costs by raising prices. The consumer responded by buying DiGiorno. Frozen pizza has become one of the few genuine winners in the restaurant industry's struggle to maintain customer loyalty through an inflationary period. You can buy a premium frozen pizza for $8. You cannot get a comparable delivery pizza for under $20 after fees and tip. This is the force that is making every story on this list worse than it would otherwise be. The actual base of demand for restaurant pizza is contracting because the consumer has found a cheaper substitute that is good enough. Number 1, the death of dine-in pizza, not a single brand, a format that built an entire category and is now dying in real time. Pizza Hut was founded as a sit-down restaurant, a place you went with your family on a Friday night, ordered from a menu, sat in a booth, and ate from a pan that came out of an actual oven. That experience was an American institution for 30 years. In 2026, that format is over. The large dine-in pizza restaurant requires high rent for a big footprint, a full service staff, and a customer who wants to spend 45 minutes eating pizza in a booth. That customer has largely disappeared. The chains that understood this earliest, Domino's primarily, which never tried to be a sit-down restaurant, are surviving. The chains that built their identities around the dine-in experience are being systematically dismantled. The 9 chains on this list are not just individual stories of mismanagement. They are the wreckage of an American dining format that served hundreds of millions of people, shaped how families spent Friday nights, and then stopped being economically viable faster than anyone predicted. The pizza itself is fine. Americans still eat as much pizza as ever. The frozen aisle is growing. Small independent pizzerias are thriving. What is dying is the chain pizza experience, the branded, franchise, standardized, mass-market American pizza restaurant that was once on every main street in every suburb. It is contracting, closing, and in some cases disappearing, one location at a time, every week in 2026. Subscribe before the next video because the story does not end here.